Hello, you beautiful soul, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a lovely day. In this video, we're going to be talking about the life path number. The life path number is an aspect to numerology that is so very important. If you don't already know about your life path number, first of all, what a privilege to be able to introduce you to that knowledge here today. You guys, before we even start talking about the symbolism and the true meaning of the life path number, let's just first acknowledge the fact that numbers here in this world are everything, literally. When you look at the divine structure of things, everything follows a very unique and divine geometric pattern, which ultimately, when you narrow it down, comes down to a numerical sequence. Basically, everything comes down to numbers. If you look at the structure of plants, of nature, of ourselves, literally, and ourselves, of water, everything again follows a geometric sequence. Sacred geometry is very much a thing here on earth, and again, once you narrow everything down, it comes down to sacred divine numbers. The life path number is no different from that. Think of the life path number as your own unique numerology blueprint. Now, there's very different aspects to numerology, but the life path number is one of the most well-known ones, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. You get your life path number by narrowing down all of the numbers of your birthday date. The birthday is a very symbolic and meaningful thing. It is quite literally your blueprint. It's how we go about analyzing and getting your natal chart when it comes to astrology. And it's also how we go about examining your numerology aspects. Here in this video, we're going to talk about the dominant characteristics and gifts that each life path number carries. Stay tuned into the next clip to know how to find your own life path number.
Alright, you guys, so to find your life path number, all you're going to need is your birthday date. So you're going to start by writing out the month of your birthday, the day, and the year. Once you have your birthday date, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add up all the numbers in your birthday. It really is as simple as it sounds. You're going to take all of the numbers and add them up one by one, as you see that I'm doing here in the video. Now, once you add up the numbers, you want to narrow down the number you get to a single digit number. So as you can see here from mine, I got 34, but you ultimately want to add that number and get 3 plus 4. So my life path number here, as you can see, is 7. The only exception will be the master numbers. If you get number 11, 22, and 33, you leave it as is and you don't reduce it.
All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and start with the life path 1. Life path 1 carries the energy of the number 1, which is all about leadership, individuality, and uniqueness. Life path 1 people really do take pride in this. They are very unique people. They're very strong. They're very much all about leadership. I find that life path 1 people tend to thrive a lot in being self-employed because, again, it goes back to the self. Life path 1 people are the creators. They're very individualistic, like I've been saying. They're very charismatic, and because of this, people just naturally gravitate towards them. They're the trendsetters. They're the ones that really are not afraid to be themselves. Some examples of life path 1 people are Lady Gaga, Shakira, Nikola Tesla, and Miley Cyrus. In my opinion, let's talk about Lady Gaga because I feel like that's the perfect embodiment of the life path 1. Lady Gaga, when she started her career and probably all of her life, she really did not give a shit about what people thought about her. She really just, wore whatever she wanted. She was very innovative in that sense with her style, her unique sense of style, her outfits, her wigs, her hair, her makeup. In my opinion, that's a perfect embodiment of the life path 1 because it really is their uniqueness and it really is their individuality that leads the life path 1 towards thriving. Life path 1 people thrive the hardest and are the most happiest when they find that they can embody their true individuality and uniqueness. They're very resilient souls, very strong-willed, very courageous, full of leadership, full of oneness and manifestation. The life path 1, again, because the number 1 is so connected to creation and to kind of like magician type of energy, the one, manifestation is very, very amplified with this life path. They can really achieve anything they set their mind to. It's just a matter of them fully tapping into their individuality and not being afraid of doing so, not apologizing for doing so, and really just going all in, because again, they're very unique. And when they allow themselves to tap into their full uniqueness, tap into their full sense of courage and leadership, they thrive the hardest. One thing that the life path one does have to be careful with is the ego. Now, obviously, we all have our ego selves, right? However, because the life path one really is the self, they have to be mindful about that, and they have to be careful with that. They have to make sure they also take others into consideration. But other than that, again, the life path one is very courageous, very, individualistic and charismatic, and just an overall a very strong-willed person when it comes to their manifestations. Some helpful affirmations that I have for the life path one are: I channel the divine into everything I create. I channel the divine into everything that I create. I see clearly, accepting my visions. I see clearly, accepting my visions. These affirmations will be very powerful to the life path one because it helps them to tap into their own sense of power. And that, for the life path one, is one of the most powerful things they can do. Hello, life path twos, my life path twos. I love you guys so much. And that's because the life path two really is at its core all about love, duality, partnerships, compassion, harmony, and balance. I do have to say that out of all of the life paths, I do think that the life path 2 has an easier time navigating relationships. And that's because the life path 2 is one of the few life paths that love just very much does come natural to these people. They are very sensitive people at the core. They are very, very, very compassionate and also very intuitive. I have found that because life path 2 is so connected to that essence of love and just overall harmony, intuition and natural gut feeling and connection tends to follow. And that's one of their greatest gifts because of that. Life path 2s tend to be the people that tend to settle down earlier on in life. And that's because life path 2, when it comes to partnerships, most of the time they kind of already know what they want. They don't really have the time, neither do they have the will to want to fool around. Now, obviously, that's not all life path 2s, but most of them I have found do kind of tend to steer more towards wanting to settle down earlier in life. And that's, again, because of just their very loving and compassionate nature. I would say one of the most important things for life path 2 people is balance. They must find a sense of balance in their lives. That's how they will best thrive, and that's how they will best help themselves embody that pure essence of love and partnership that they came here to be. Now, it's not to say that the only purpose of the life path 2 is to settle down and have a partner. No. However, partnerships just come a little bit more natural to them. That's because, again, the life path 2 really is a very loving and compassionate and giving individual at its core. When the life path 2 is thriving, they find that compassion, love, harmony just kind of comes to them naturally, and that's your gift. It might seem like something very simple, but you guys, not everyone actually has this gift. So if you are a life path 2, what your dominant gift is here in this world is your compassionate and loving nature and your ability to be able to bond to other people naturally. You're very sensitive, very compassionate and harmonious at the core, very beautiful soul at the core, and people naturally feel this about you. Life path 2 people, I would say, are the type of people that they are very, very amazing friends. They're amazing lovers, and they're very loyal as well. And that's because, again, partnership, balance, and harmony are of their top priority. The life path 2 people thrive the most when they embody these qualities. Some examples of life path 2 celebrities are Kobe Bryant, Mariah Carey, and Tim Burton. Also, another thing, they're very keen and very willing to serve the need of other people. They really do like other people. Another thing about the life path 2 is they're very keen to serving the needs of other people. They like seeing people around them happy, especially when it comes to their own partnerships, their family members and friends and stuff like that. They like seeing other people thrive. That pushes the life path 2. Believe it or not, that helps them feel more accomplished. That helps them feel more fulfilled. It's important that the life path 2 also nourishes itself and also learns how to establish a sense of balance and love into their own personal life, right? Some helpful affirmations that I have for the life path 2 here are: all of my decisions are authentic to who I am and what I believe. All of my decisions are authentic to who I am and what I believe. I bring balance into my life easily and effortlessly. I bring balance into my life easily and effortlessly. Again, balance and following your own true sense of nurturement is very important for you as a life path 2. Make sure you do not lose sight of that, and make sure that, again, all of that love you so easily give out, you're also able to bring it back towards yourself. However, that is your superpower, and it's an amazing one in my opinion. I love life path 2s. Hello, life path 3, my beautiful life path 3s. I love life path 3. I actually tend to attract quite a few life path 3s in my existence here on earth. Life path 3 people, your dominant gift here in this world is your sense of self-expression, your way that you go about telling stories, the way in which you go about expressing yourself, and your overall sense of creativity. Life path 3 people, you are very creative. I would say out of all of the life paths, life path 3 is very much up there, if not the top one in terms of creativity. Life path 3s, you came here to create something beautiful in regards to your sense of self-expression, individuality, and creativity. You are very giving people, very charismatic, very magnetic. You tend to be the life of the party. Life path 3s I found are very funny people as well. Life path 3 carries the vibration of the 3, which is very much associated with Holy Trinity type of energy. Because of this, I have found the life path 3 people tend to be very lucky here in this existence. Things just kind of have a way of working themselves out for them. And it makes sense considering the vibration of the 3. They're very lucky people. They tend to be social at their best whenever they want to be. And when they are, they find that they thrive in doing so. Again, very charismatic, funny, loyal people at their core. Life path 3 people are very much dreamers. If I could just narrow it down for them in one word, they're creative dreamers. They're the hopeless romantics. They're the creatives. They need freedom to express their creativity. They thrive the best when they're able to acknowledge this about themselves and fully embody it. I have found that life path 3 people do tend to kind of want to pursue more creative fields. Life path 3 people need an outlet to ultimately be able to self-express. Some examples of life path 3 celebrities are Frida Kahlo, David Bowie, Audrey Hepburn, and Vin Diesel. So yeah, I think all of these people are very much creatives at their core. I mean, acting, painting, singing. I mean, it kind of talks for itself, right? For the life path 3s, again, very creative, very loving at the core, very unique, very charismatic, very magnetic. That's their gift. Their sense of self-expression is their gift. The way in which they express themselves and their creativity and their dreamy ways, that is your strength as a life path 3. Life path 3 people, you're also great listeners and you're great at giving advice. You have the power as well of being very connected to Mother Earth, and that's because, again, it goes back to creativity and creation. Being so connected to that energy also has its perks in regards to feeling the connection in things outside of you as well, specifically nature, art, music, stuff like that. That connection kind of comes naturally to you. You're able to understand it. You're able to relate. Because of this, you're able to relate to people as well. You tend to have gone through a lot in your life, so you really do speak from a place of experience. Some affirmations that I have here for my life path 3 people are: I am okay with releasing control of my life. I am okay with releasing control of my life. I place the wisdom of spirit in my life. I place the wisdom of spirit in my life. So yeah, the life path 3 thrives the most when they're able to follow their own unique sense of creativity and of connection in their lives, when they finally allow themselves to let go of so much of the burden they tend to carry, because they do tend to take a lot in, again, because they're very receptive. And when they learn to just overall trust spirit, trust the guidance system that they deep within carry, they are able to much better thrive in their lives. So life path 3, make sure you're prioritizing hope. Make sure you're prioritizing your connection to the divine. Make sure you're not letting outside influences drain you too much. And always follow your creativity and your unique sense of self and your own self-expression. That is your gift here in this world. Hi, Life Path 4 people. Life Path 4, your dominant gift here in this world is your own sense of discipline and hard work and strong foundations. Life Path 4 people are the ones that are going to make shit happen. They are the ones that make shit happen. Your dominant strength is that you have the capability of really stepping into your own sense of power and really going after your goals with unmatched attention. The life path 4s can be very organized in the way in which they go about doing things. When the life path 4 sets their mind into something, they really will not stop until they go out and fully accomplish that thing. They are those type of people. They're very hard workers. In fact, they really appreciate when people around them are also willing to put in the work necessary in their lives to achieve their goals, because that to them is something very important. I would say for the life path 4, one thing you must work on is balance in this life. Balance must be cultivated in your life. That way you can fully achieve your goals without being, pulled around by different energies around you. Because again, your dominant gift and power here in this world is your sense of discipline, your sense of organization, your sense of actually getting shit done, which again, I know can sound simple, but it is a huge strength. You are the one that will go out and get the things that people in this life might not fully do. Some examples of life path 4 people are Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Keanu Reeves, and Kim Kardashian. Now, I would say all of these people are amazing examples of life path 4 energy, because they really do get shit done. Everyone has their own opinion about these people, specifically Kim Kardashian. I know people have very hate her, love her type of deal. But hey, if there's one thing about her, is that she has gotten shit done in her life, and she's been very smart about it. And that's because, again, she has learned to embody the life path 4 energy, the life path 4 gift, which is discipline and hard work. Now, I'm not saying all you came here to do was to work hard. That's not what I'm saying. It's not all about your work. However, the way in which you go about doing things, you have the power out of all the life paths to really focus on your goals. Any goal you set for yourself, not just career-wise or anything like that. Any goal you set for yourself, you can accomplish it with great power, with great ease. That's the power of the life path 4. One thing that I would say the life path 4 has to be very mindful about is to be willing to let go of the past, be willing to let go of things that are not serving them. I have found that life path 4s can sometimes dwell on the past too much, to the point where they block in new blessings that are trying to come into their lives. So make sure you're allowing the old to just fall, fully let it go. That way you can step into your true power of, again, getting things done, going after your goals with undivided attention. An affirmation that I have here for the life path 4 is, I develop plans that work effectively to help meet me my goals. I develop plans that work effectively to help me meet my goals. I develop plans that work effectively to help me meet my goals. Life path 4, again, you are very, very gifted in regards to your logical mind and the way you go about logically doing things. It's not to say you don't hold the power of intuition, because it's quite literally because of your intuition that you are going to know what to best follow and what you best want out of this life. You can be very intuitive people at the core. However, make sure you are incorporating your intuition with your own rational and logical mind, because again, at your best, life path 4, you are the one that gets shit done in this life. You know how to work with your power. You know how to work with those around you. You know how to manipulate energies positively. And that in itself is a very strong gift. So make sure you utilize it wisely. My Life Path 5s, hi and welcome, beautiful souls. Life Path 5, your dominant strength and gift here in this world is your sense of adventure and freedom. Life Path 5 people carry the vibration of the number 5, which is all about change, uncertainty, and overall freedom and adventure. I'm laughing because Life Path 5, you really are very free at the core and you take pride in that. Life Path 5 people are people that very much do enjoy their freedom. They don't like being tied down. They don't like feeling restricted in the way they go about following their lives. Most of the time, Life Path people really do love traveling and things like that. They want to feel free. They want to be able to gain as much experience as they can in this world. They're very childlike in that sense, I have found. Life Path 5 people, you have to be mindful to not get careless in this life. Yes, you are free to explore. Yes, you are free to expand. However, make sure you're always bringing yourself back to, balance, clarity, and that you don't let your own sense of freedom drive you too far from your path, if that makes sense. Life Path 5 people, because they're very free in that way, they tend to be very creative people. They're also very connected to communication, so the way in which they express their voice and just overall sense of self-expression is very emphasized with the Life Path 5. They're very adventurous people. They tend to not really like routine. They very much are catalysts of change. They thrive in change. In fact, I would say the Life Path 5 is very chaotic in that way, in the sense that they really do grow and almost build on their power through experience, through change, and through adventure. It's almost as if they take pride in this, because again, it goes back to adventure for them. I guess you could call it the thrill of it all, right? They very much do like the notion of chaos deep down, the Life Path 5. And that's because, again, the Life Path 5, the number 5 in numerology, is so connected to change. So change, chaos really does tend to attract the Life Path 5. Now, this is not to say the Life Path 5 is always destructive. At their best, the Life Path 5s are very creative, very good with communications, and their own sense of childlike freedom really does tend to draw other people in around them, because other people admire that about them. That's their strength, their freedom, their creativity. That's the dominant gift of the Life Path 5. They really do love taking risks, the Life Path 5 people, and that's something quite admirable about them. They're the type of people, they're not afraid to hold back. They're not afraid of, saying yes to a spontaneous trip. They're not afraid of going out there and exploring the unknown. The Life Path 5 actually thrives in this chaos, and that's something quite admirable about them. Some examples of Life Path 5 people are Angelina Jolie, Beyonce, Kristen Stewart, Malcolm X, and Lana Del Rey. I would say these are all very perfect examples of the Life Path 5. I'm going to talk a little bit about Lana just because, I love her music. But yeah, I would say Lana's a perfect example of a Life Path 5. She very much has expressed this throughout her music along the years. She very much does value her own sense of individuality. And I would say Lana is one of those artists, just like Beyonce too. She really has, tapped into her fuller power more and more through the years because of her own sense of self-expression, because of her own sense of, almost beautiful chaos. And, not to romanticize what she's gone through, but again, the Life Path 5 people tend to deep down want this chaos, want change, want adventure as a means to grow as people. At their best, the Life Path 5 can be very good with business, but also with their own sense of humanitarian efforts. And I would say that's because the Life Path 5 really does learn from experience. They're very adventurous and they are very good with people deep down. And so this comes natural to them. Again, Life Path 5, make sure you don't get too careless and reckless in this world. Take care of yourself, nurture yourself, always bring yourself back to a state of nurturement. It's okay that you want to go out there and be free and self-expressive. I mean, that's your power, really. That really is your superpower. And I would say through that willingness to want to learn so much, you end up living a life that is very adventurous, very beautiful, and that is your superpower. Okay. Hi, Life Path 6, and welcome to your part of the video. Life Path 6 people, I have so much respect and love for you. Some of my closest friends are actually Life Path 6s, so I'm kind of biased about you guys already because I have so much love for you. But Life Path 6, you are very much like the Life Path 3. I would say those two, along with the Life Path 9, are the most compassionate and loving souls here on earth. Life Path 6, you're very connected to harmony, to compassion, and to servitude. So love comes very natural to you. Life Path 6 people, you're very connected to the arts. You're very creative at the core. You are very connected to music, to creation, to singing, to painting, stuff like that. All of those things tend to come a little bit more natural to the Life Path 6. Does not have to mean that you have to pursue that as your career and job here on this earth. However, the Life Path 6 really does enjoy their creative, outlets. I think the Life Path 6 thrives the hardest actually when they are given the opportunity here in this world to express themselves creatively. Most importantly, when they allow themselves the gift of loving freely without guilt. And that's because, again, I have found the Life Path 6 tends to be so very nurturing, so very giving to those around them. It's important that the Life Path 6 also learns how to bring that love back towards themselves. Self-care, I would say, is very important to the Life Path 6. And that's because they're very receptive individuals. They're very connected again to their heart chakra, therefore being also very connected to their intuition. Life Path 6, your dominant gift here in this world is your sense of nurturement and compassion. You are very, very, very giving. You really do love expressing love, and that's the most beautiful thing about you. That's your strength, that's your superpower. Not everyone has that here in this earth. Life Path 6 people, they have this idea of wanting to fit people around them, and you have to be careful with that because, again, don't forget, you can't fit a person. They have to put in that effort and that self-work for themselves. But I always have found this very noble about the Life Path 6 people because at their core, they want to nurture. It's like they almost want to figure out the chaos and fix it. But also, they don't really like being told what to do. They like to just be themselves. They like to follow their own, childlike wonder. They like to feel free. However, romanticism, pure love, pure vulnerability and generosity, that's very important to the Life Path 6 from a partner. Specifically from a partner, they must feel true connection to their partner. I have found with Life Path 6, superficial shit just does not fly with them. They want true love. They want to be with someone. And most likely that also helps other people because they kind of tend to be that same way. They appreciate that about their partners and their friendships. I have found that the Life Path 6 people tend to attract people that are also very giving, also very loving, also very harmonious in that sense. Life Path 6, you thrive best, again, when it comes to creative fields, even, the music industry, energy healing, whether it be through, Reiki, whether it be through painting, whether it be through singing, whether it be through art, whether it be through the way you communicate with other people. It does not have to look a specific way, right? It can look like many different things. However, I have found that the Life Path 6 tends to thrive the most whenever they are able to showcase this part of themselves, this very compassionate part of themselves. Life Path 6, if you're feeling out of balance, if you're feeling out of whack, is it because you're not allowing yourself to love fully? Is it because people around you are not allowing you to love fully? make sure you are taking care of yourself in that way. Make sure you're prioritizing, taking care of your energy. Make sure the people that you do have around you are people that are deserving of your energy, because life path 6, you need to be very discerning of that. You're very, very emotional at the core. You're a very emotional person, very nurturing and very compassionate. So the people you have around you must live up to that standard. You must have a standard when it comes to the people around you. Very important for the life path 6. Some examples of life path 6 people are Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, and Albert Einstein. I mean, let's use Michael Jackson as an example. Michael Jackson was not only in the music industry, but he was also known to be a humanitarian. He was very compassionate. He was very outspoken about, issues in our world and stuff like that. He was an energy healer, in my opinion, very much so. And I very much do admire that about him. So I think Michael Jackson is a perfect example of a life path 6. Some affirmations for my life path 6 people are: I accept my inner shadows and integrate them into who I am. I accept my inner shadows and integrate them into who I am. And accepting my inner shadows, they no longer rule me. And accepting my inner shadows, they no longer rule me. Life path 6, like I've been saying, it's very important that you feel that you can show your love and your own true sense of nurturement freely, without guilt, doing so freely. And because not only does it come natural to you, but because people around you are deserving of it, right? Hello, my beautiful life path 7s. Life path 7, your power here in this world is your smarts and your connection to the divine. You are very spiritual people at the core. And life path 7, you are such an analytic, such a philosopher, and you really are the scientists, the philosophers of this world. Life path 7 people, they notice the details in things, and that's because, again, they very much do have a very analytical mind. They really do like to nitpick everything about people, situations, and even about themselves. Life path 7 people, you are very self-aware. You're very smart. Life path 7 people tend to be lone wolves. And that's because a lot of the time life path 7s had a very difficult upbringing, and they kind of had learned to place this shield around them as a means to protect themselves. Life path 7 people are known to be the type of people that, they'll have friends for years and years and years, and their friends will still not fully know them 100%. They're very mysterious in that sense. I would say my biggest advice to you is to learn to let people in. Learn to let people in. People deserve to see the real you. People deserve to see how truly actually sensitive and unique you are, life path 7. You don't always have to shield yourself. You are free to show that side of yourself to the world. And in fact, when you do so and you let your guard down, people will actually very much admire that about you. Life path 7 people, you came here to work on spirituality and to master that aspect. So you're naturally drawn to spiritual things and spiritual people and spiritual topics. And that's because, again, you're very analytical at the core. And if you're sitting here like, I'm not smart, I'm not like that, actually, yes, you have the capability of being very smart when you set your mind to things. You hold a lot of power in the mind, life path 7 people. And that's because, again, the life path 7 is connected to the number 7 in numerology, which is all about enlightenment, the crown chakra, spirituality, the third eye, and sacred knowledge. Overall intellect, right? So life path 7 people, you really do seek deeper answers here in this world. You're the type of person that you ask why, you want to learn about things. Life path 7s are actually very, very unique and very spiritual and very sensitive at the core. Very, very sensitive. It's just a matter of who they let in. It really is just a matter of who they let in. Once you actually get to know life path 7, you get to see the side of them. But my advice to you, life path 7, is to let more people in. And this is not to say like, let everyone in and, no boundaries, nothing. No, of course you want to be discerning of that. However, you don't always have to have your wall up. You don't always have to, push people away. You are free to be yourself. You are free to showcase to the world, to show the world your own uniqueness, your creativity, and your own sense of self, because life path 7, you're actually a very beautiful person deep down. You're very, very spiritual at the core. Life path 7 people I have found naturally attract energy healers and stuff like that into their lives, spiritual people overall, and that's because, again, that's part of their purpose, and that helps them to further grow their spiritual gifts. That helps them to further tap into their spiritual self, which is ultimately what Life Path 7 came here to do. It came here to discover the self. It came here to fully learn more about the self, more about spirituality. And the Life Path 7 thrives when they allow themselves to do so. Some examples of Life Path 7 people are Marilyn Monroe, Freddie Mercury, Princess Diana, and Natalie Portman. So again, Life Path 7, you are very, 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 very smart. Smarter than people give you credit for, I would say. You know how to utilize your smarts, and you know how to utilize your connection to the divine at your best. It's just very important that you allow yourself the gift of vulnerability, the gift of you allowing yourself to be expressive with those around you. Like I've been saying, you don't always have to be the lone wolf. You don't always have to isolate yourself as a means to cope, which I know is something Life Path 7 tends to do quite often. You're free to be more vulnerable. In fact, take this as your sign. People will appreciate that more about you. Some affirmations that I have from our Life Path 7 people here are: my decisions and actions reflect my beliefs. My decisions and actions reflect my beliefs. And negativity has no place in my life. Negativity has no place in my life. So again, Life Path 7, it's very important that you lead from a place of truth, lead from a place of connection. Don't get carried away with allowing yourself to turn cold to the world. You know, you are deserving of showcasing and embodying your true vulnerable nature, regardless of your coping mechanisms, regardless of you, turning towards being cold as a means to cope. Because again, that's something that the Life Path 7 does quite often. So allow yourself to see the good in the world, to see the good in people, and show up as that person for those around you. You don't always have to shield yourself. You're free to be you, Life Path 7. It's my beautiful Life Path 8s. Your dominant gift here in this world is your sense of power, wealth, and influence. Life Path 8, you are the one out of all the life paths that making money comes the easiest for you. Life Path 8, you have a way to you in regards to the way you navigate yourself, that you naturally command respect from people around you. You're the type of person, you enter a room and people just naturally feel your presence. That's how strong of an energy you carry in regards to that. Life Path 8, you can also sometimes be workaholics. That's because, again, it really does come back to wealth for you. It's not to say your main focus here in this world should be money. However, making money and attracting money and wealth does come a little bit easier to you than all the other life paths. 8, you make amazing leaders, and you can be really good at management. Anything where you're able to showcase your individuality and your true sense of leadership, you thrive in doing so, Life Path 8. Life Path 8, you're naturally influential. People look up to you in that sense. People sense the fact that you really did come here to establish yourself in regards to wealth and money. Life Path 8 people are very knowledgeable, and they very much do know their worth. Even if a Life Path 8 is working like a minimum wage job or a job they hate, they deep down will always be self-aware enough to know that I deserve better than this, and I'm gonna go out and get it, type of thing. Life Path 8, you're not the type to settle. You really do have big goals for yourself. You really do have big aspirations for yourself. And Life Path 8, you thrive the hardest when you're able to embody that quality of wealth to you, when you're able to, again, really showcase your sense of leadership, really showcase your own unique sense of power. Life Path 8, I would say one of the things you have to be mindful and careful about here in this world is to not get greedy. And that's because, again, let's just put it out there, not everything is about money at the end of the day. I'm not going to sit here and say money is evil, because truly I don't think so. I love money. We should all love money. Money is freedom. Financial freedom is happiness. And Life Path 8, I'm sure you know that. However, make sure that you are aware of the fact that not everything has to be about that. Don't allow yourself to become greedy in regards to that. The number 8 in numerology, I mean, the way it's shaped, as above, so below. So life path 8 in this world, you also deal with a lot of karma. So make sure that what you are giving is good. That way, what you receive is also good, right? Life path 8, just to put it into very simple terms, you have the power of being very wise with your money. You really do know deep down how to navigate money. It comes easy to you. It comes easy to you. And if you right now are sitting here like, I don't really know how to navigate money, I actually don't really know how to do that. Once you start learning about it, if you push yourself to do so, it will come very easy to you. Life path 8, you came here to fully embody wealth. You came here to attain wealth. Okay, at the core, that's what you came here to do. So life path 8, make sure you're recognizing the influence you have, because you do carry quite a bit of power in regards to that. That's part of your gift here. You have the power of being fully responsible. You are the one that's assertive. You are the leader. You are the visionary. Use your power wisely, life path 8. Some examples of life path 8 people are Pablo Picasso, Naomi Campbell, and Sandra Bullock. Some affirmations that I have here for my life path 8s are: knowing there is hope sustains me. Knowing there is hope sustains me. I carry a sense of peace with me at all times. I carry a sense of peace with me at all times. Life path 8, again, you came here to be a leader. You came here to learn how to utilize that power wisely. So it's very important that the way in which you're going about your life, you are navigating it with a sense of, yes, great power, but also, make sure you're being knowledgeable enough to not get reckless, not get greedy. And remember, the life path 8, the number 8 is very connected to karma, as above, so below. So make sure you act from a place of love and compassion in the way you go about doing things. That way you best reap the benefits of that. That's why I also included that affirmation of hope in there, because having hope as a life path 8 is very, very important. You must see the good. You must always bring yourself back to a state of clarity, to a state of balance, and you must always choose to see the good in people and in situations around you, even when the world does not want you to. That way you act from a place of love, and again, that is what will be coming back to you. So my beautiful life path 9s, life path 9, you are also one of those other life paths that I very much do have a soft spot for in my life, because I love life path 9. Some of my most, closest people to me in my life are life path 9. Life path 9, you are very compassionate and loving at the core. Life path 9, one of your dominant gifts here in this world is your intuition, your mystical nature, your way of taking pain and transmuting it into power, transmuting it into something beautiful. Lines also tend to be very connected to music, to antiques, to the arts, to creation and stuff like that. Anything where you can utilize your compassionate nature, life path 9, you're really thriving doing this. I found that life path 9s make amazing teachers as well, and that's because life path 9, you really do help to influence those around you. I think life path 9, your superpower is that you really go against the norm, and you don't do so like willingly. It's just kind of who you are. Life path 9 people tend to be the hermit, kind of, if you know about the tarot. The hermit is very much, about the self, kind of like the lone wolf, the outcast type of vibe, where they don't really resonate with, most of society. Even if they try, they kind of are just naturally, outcasts. And whereas this can come off as negative to some people, this actually their superpower, because they're very unique. And again, they have gone through so much in their lives that I have found life path 9, yes, you do carry great burden, but with that also comes a lot of power, actually, and a lot of connection and a lot of gift. Life path 9, you're very spiritual at the core. Life path 9 is known to be the life path that carries all characteristics of all other of the 8 life paths. So you carry the leadership of the 1, the harmony of the 2, the creativity of the 3, the stability of the 4, the adventure of the 5, the generosity of the 6, the spirituality of the 7th, and the power and wealth of the 8. So life path 9, you do carry, I don't want to say burden, But yes, in a way, you do carry a lot of responsibility in that sense. But that's because, again, you came here to influence and you came here to not be like everyone else. Life Path 9, the minute you recognize that about yourself, you will free yourself and you will actually help yourself to step into your own unique place of uniqueness and individuality. You are givers at the core, so make sure you are also prioritizing your own sense of nurturement. Make sure you're putting yourself first at the end of the day, and again, prioritizing your own self-care routines and stuff like that, things that bring you back to a state of calmness and to a state of stability within yourself and balance. That's very important for you, Life Path 9. Life Path 9 at the core are humanitarians and healers. I have found Life Path 9 really do thrive when they help to build things that help other people, or they influence people in such a way that they help to ultimately heal them and motivate them. So that's something very admirable about the Life Path 9, and that is Life Path 9, your superpower. Life Path 9, you're also very observant and you feel emotions very deeply. Some examples of Life Path 9 people are Mother Teresa, Jim Carrey, Morgan Freeman, and Cher. So yeah, I would say Jim Carrey, and all of them really, but Jim Carrey, Mother Teresa, that's the perfect example of the Life Path 9. Regardless of their burdens, they have really chosen to spread love and joy out into the world, and they do so because it just naturally comes from their soul and who they are and who they came here to be. They really do prioritize it positively influencing people, even if sometimes it means self-sacrifices and stuff like that. Now again, I am going to say Life Path 9, make sure you're prioritizing your own sense of stability, your own mind, your own heart. That way you can also help to influence others with a calm heart and a calm mind as well. Some affirmations that I have for my Life Path 9 people are: I have no fear of my instinctual nature. I have no fear of my instinctual nature. And Spirit walks with me on my path. Spirit walks with me on my path. Life Path 9, again, you're very connected to spirituality, so Spirit is always there with you, and it's just a matter of calling on Spirit, God, the universe, however you happen to refer to it, and asking it for guidance, because you are very supported spiritually. Life Path 9, you have a lot of guidance to you. You have a lot of power to you, and it's very important you recognize this about yourself. Life Path 9, you are inspirational. You are multi-talented. You are compassion at the core. That is your superpower. Life Path 11. Life Path 11, you are actually a master number. So Life Path 11, you carry the vibration of the 1, doubled actually, because 1, and also the vibration of the 2. So you carry the vibration of creation and individuality while also carrying the vulnerability and the balance and the harmony of the 2. Life Path 11, so you are the clairvoyants, you are the truth seekers, you are the spiritual teachers here in this world. Now I want to say this, Life Path 11, you don't have to feel like you have to literally be a spiritual teacher. However, you carry a lot of innate knowledge to you, a lot of creativity and truth to you that a lot of people actually really do resonate with, and a lot of people actually really admire this about you. Life Path 11, you are very creative and very innovative at your core. Life Path 11 people are the type of people, they know they're different from other people, and that's because they quite simply are. They very much do carry that strong sense of ego to them, and I gotta give it to the Life Path 11, because the Life Path 11, they really are unique at the core. They're very creative. Life Path 11s are known to carry a lot of cellular memory, and that's because they're known to have lived a lot of past lives. So Life Path 11s, they tend to carry a lot of burden in this life to be perfectionist. Life Path 11, you must learn to let go of that, and you must learn to create and be just from a place of being and creating. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to live up to that idealistic expectation that you hold for yourself in your mind. You're free to just be. Life Path 11 has a very bold sense of self. They know who they are deep down. They know it. If you are sitting here, if you're a Life Path 11 and you're listening to this, you're probably smiling because yes, you know how powerful you are. You know that you're very creative. You know that you hold a lot of power to you. That's your superpower, Life Path 11. You're very connected to spirituality as well. And you are a master at manifestation, by the way, because you carry double of that one energy, which again is all about creation and individuality and power. Life Path 11, you have a very developed nature to you. You really, really do. So it's very important you learn how to nurture yourself. In regards to that, you learn how to further grow your gifts, and you, regardless of what goes on around you, because I know Life Path 11 state tend to have a very tough upbringing, and that's because it's kind of like I have found, you know what I feel with Life Path 11? It's like pressure creates a diamond type of thing. So they tend to have a tough upbringing. So it's very important to not place yourself in, victim mentality, and to nurture yourself, go after your goals, see the good in things, see the love in things. That way you can accomplish what it is that you came here to do and who you came here to be, Life Path 11, because you came here to be an innovator. You came here to be a truth seeker. You are clairvoyant. You are very spiritually gifted. You are unique. You are very sensitive people, and you tend to feel others' pains. And that's, again, coming from your own developed nature, Life Path 11. It's important that you learn to recognize that about yourself. Again, like I've been saying, Life Path 11 people tend to be put in painful family dynamics growing up, and that again goes back to the diamond reference that I made earlier. That's because I find that pain, I don't want to glamorize that for you, Life Path 11. However, it's through struggle that you grow, and it's through struggle that you are almost forced to discover this part of yourself, Life Path 11. So the sooner you do, the sooner you can just get it going, and the sooner you can start tapping into the full potential of your gifts, Life Path 11. Some examples of Life Path 11 people are Kanye West and Barack Obama. I mean, they both very much live up to the Life Path 11 nature. I mean, look at Kanye West. As judged as he is in our society, Kanye West is a creative and an innovator at his core. He is very creative. He very much is himself. And I would say that's when the Life Path 11 thrives the most, when they allow themselves to fully embody all of themselves, their creativity, their sense of innovation, their spirituality. That's what drove Kanye West towards fame. And so again, very important, Life Path 11, that you learn to see that power within yourself, but also make sure you are not neglecting your own sense of self-care, your own sense of balance and structure here in this world. That way you don't lose yourself, right? An affirmation that I have for my Life Path 11 people are: I channel the divine into everything I create. I channel the divine into everything that I create. I channel the divine into everything that I create. Life Path 11 people, you receive intuitive messages. And if you don't already know this, I'm here to tell you, you're the type of people you receive intuitive and spiritual knowledge from the divine and from source and from your spiritual team. So make sure you listen to those messages, because they are trying to tell you something. Everything you do, make it be intentional. I mean, you are the type of person that everything you do is intentional as it is. You channel the divine into the things you do. You naturally do, Life Path 11. It's just a matter of tapping into that power if you're not already aware of it. And if you are, Life Path 11, continue doing what you're doing. Don't give up, because Life Path 11, you are very unique and innovative at the core and very gifted overall. Okay? Take care.